coming up.
What makes this breed shine is not when times are good, it's when times are hard.
These cattle will perform. If you get them bred once the first time, they're going to breed back and stay in the herd. We just don't have cattle drop out of the herd.
See how Gelbvieh and Balancer are the profitable choice for cattlemen nationwide. Next on The American Rancher. Hello and welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. Docility is one of the most appreciated Gelbvieh traits among commercial cattle producers who also value cattle that will breed back and produce a calf year after year. Gelbvieh cattle exhibit strong maternal strengths such as fertility and quiet temperament. According to a U.S. Meat Animal Research Center study, they also rank #1 for moderate mature cow size and are the earliest to mature of the 7 major beef breeds.
On our virgin heifers, we'll run a 95 to 98% conception rate on our virgin heifers. And then, but the phenomenal thing is the breed back rate on those first calf heifers, getting them bred back to go back in for the next year. We'll run a 98 to 99% calving rate or pregnancy rate back on those first calf heifers. And through time, first calf heifer is the hardest thing that it is to get bred back. And these cattle will perform. If you get them bred once the first time, they're going to breed back and stay in the herd. We just don't have cattle drop out of the herd.
You know, they milk good, they're docile, they're gentle, and I think they dang sure wean a little bigger calves than some of the other breeds out there.
We really like the Gelbvieh cattle. We looked at some other breeds over the years. We added some black cows to our herd, and we've ran some black Angus bulls and some red Angus bulls. We even had, over the years, we had a couple of horned Hereford bulls, but we always came back to the Gelbvieh and the Balancer genetics. We like the way that the cattle act. We love the way that they grow. We just really like the breed for kind of their well-rounded, everything that they have to offer. You know, a lot of breeds have a lot of great things, but we really feel like the Gelbvieh and Balancers give us a complete animal, what we're looking for. We are really interested in our cows being good mothers, staying in our herd a long time, and breeding back. So that's kind of what we have focused on, is really the maternal side of our cow herd.
Put a tremendous emphasis on disposition to be able to handle these cattle and move them and handle them a lot without having people get hurt or have to deal with a lot of fencing issues or lot issues. We don't have to have much of a lot to be able to catch and move these cattle and to be able to work them and vaccinate them or take care of calves or weaning calves, being able to keep these calves healthy because the disposition, they're not crazy and stupid, they're not bouncing off the fences and hurting themselves.
What makes this breed shine is not when times are good, it's when times are hard. Across the 5 breeds that we work with, there's no question in my mind, even though it's anecdotal evidence, that a Gelbvieh cow can be a full body condition score less than her other breed contemporaries and still breed up at the top of the pack. And it's that innate ability to turn what resources are available into fertility. It's just the way their bodies happen to work that sets them apart from other breeds that we've worked with.
So I would say that the reason that we continue to use Gelbvieh is because we know what a strong maternal breed they are, and we want to make our own cows. We don't want to really have to go out and buy a cow herd, so we want to produce our own. But at the same time, have a product on the male side, on the steer side, that is very comparable in the marketplace. So Gelbvieh has done that over and over for us, and it's been a great fit for this environment.
commercial producers really seem to appreciate the maternal power, the maternal superiority of Gelbvieh and Balancer influence females. I think it all starts with the reproductivity and the fertility that these females have as far as reaching puberty at an early age. They breed up well, they rebreed on time. It's really important for these cows to be calving on a regular annual calving interval, and then that they stay in the herd for a long time.
Coming up,
The most overlooked trait, in my opinion, in the commercial industry that the Gelbvieh cattle in our database so blow away the other breeds is longevity.
learn why ranchers value longevity in their cow herd. Next on The American Rancher.
If you're marketing feeder calves sired by Gelbvieh and Balancer bulls, give your cattle the Balancer Edge. Balancer Edge is the new source and age verification program from the American Gelbvieh Association for calves sired by registered Gelbvieh and Balancer bulls and is backed by the industry's leading verification company, IMI Global. If you market feeder cattle, then you know that value-added programs can put more money in your pocket. Give your calves the Balancer Edge. For more information, visit gelbvieh.org.
Balancer influence feeder calves at the pounds, make the grade, and deliver the value. Feeder Finder is a free email listing to source Balancer influence feeder calves. If you are looking to buy or sell truckloads of Balancer influence feeder calves, subscribe to the free email listing or fill out the form with the cattle's information at gelbvieh.org. Feeder Finder, your source for Balancer influence feeder calves that add the pounds, make the grade, and deliver the value.
Hi, I'm Bob McLaren with 44 Farms. We have a new program with Walmart called Prime Pursuits, which brings together great Angus producers from around the United States together to provide great beef for the consumer. Producers all around the country, we would love for you to join us in this great pursuit. So please give us a call. We would love to talk to you about the specifics of this great new program. Thank you.
Looking for a proven maternal outcross for your cow herd? Join us at The Gathering, Walkaroo Farms Bull Sale on March 20th, 2021 in Rensselaer, Indiana, selling 70 authentic beefy herd bulls and 25 elite headlining females. Built on more than a century of commitment to quality, performance shorthorn cattle. Online bidding is also available on smartauctions.com. Serious cattle for serious cattlemen. To request a catalog, visit walkaroo.net.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. When it comes to choosing quality females, producers value cattle that will stay in the cow herd a long time and raise a calf year after year, regardless of climate. These producers recognize that Gelbvieh and Balancer females excel in both longevity and the ability to adapt to different environments.
Stayability and longevity is really a strength of the Gelbvieh breed, and when these cows can remain in the herd 10 years or thereabouts, they return a lot of dollars to the producers.
The most overlooked trait, in my opinion, in the commercial industry that the Gelbvieh cattle in our database so blow away the other breeds is longevity. And it doesn't matter whether you're buying a car or putting together a factory that we're going to call a cow. If you can amortize that out over 14 or 15 years instead of 8 years, look at the return on investment. And our Gelbvieh cattle are solid. They're the oldest cow in our herds, no matter how we use them in any composite. And they're there because they hang in there, they do their job right. So we're on the eastern slope of the Blue Ridge Mountain. A lot of folks think about the Shenandoah Valley as sort of being the ag corridor of Virginia. And while it is, we're still close enough to the mountains that we benefit from similar temperatures, but have a little bit longer growing season over here. It's fescue country. I mean, fescue is our friend and our enemy at the same time. We have to work with it. Sometimes it's a love affair, and sometimes it's a wrestling match, and we have to be bringing that calf into the pen in a calm way and being able to work with the sisters of that calf that we're sending to the feedlot in an early puberty female. That's what we're trying to achieve, and that's our goal here on the grass that we're working with.
We developed this cow herd by replacing those heifers, 25% of those cows in our herd every year. But when we developed this herd, then when we stopped that, those cows have lasted. We've got cows that are 16 years old that are in our operation, and that 16-year-old cow is producing just as good a calf as that first calf heifer or that 4-year-old cow.
We just went out and looked at some cows, and one of them, you know, there were several that were older in there, but there was a 13-year-old cow in there, looked great. She's getting ready to calve this fall. She's going to raise another great calf. And that's what it all boils down to, is you want to have those cows in your herd for a long time. And if you don't have the right building blocks in your seed stock and in your cow herd to start with, you're not going to get that. They just aren't going to hold up like that. So I think that for us, that's where we're at. You're always looking for the complete package.
But maternal in my world is mothering It's the ability of that cow not only to have that calf unassisted, but to own that calf, to stay right there with that calf, to do whatever's necessary to get that calf going no matter what. Sometimes that in coyote country might be that she has to protect that calf. Sometimes in really hot, humid conditions, that means she has to stay with that calf even if it happens to be born out in the sunlight. Sometimes in really harsh winter conditions, that means she has to make sure that calf's up and moving and getting going. No breed we work with does a better job of owning that calf and making sure that she's going to take care of it than the Gelbvieh breed. And we have to breed cattle that are prepared to adapt in conditions on both extremes.
We are in what we call the Sandhills region of Nebraska. It is basically a desert. We get about 14 to 16 inches of annual rainfall. This year was not typical. We had a lot more of snow and rain this year, but that's typically what we get, and because of that, we have to be pretty careful with our sandy sandhills and the environment that we run our cattle on so that we don't overgraze or overdo something.
Maternal is important to us because in a sandhills operation, they've got to kind of fend for themselves a lot of times. They got to take care of that calf in some pretty unique conditions, and they've got to be able to travel, and they've got to be able to take care of themselves a little bit. I mean, obviously we supplement them and feed them in the wintertime to take care of them. But the maternal side, they've got to be a good mother that's going to look out for that calf in all kinds of conditions in the Sandhills region.
We're very blessed to be able to run cattle in the Appalachian Mountains. That's along the Blue Ridge Parkway. We run in Grayson County, Carroll County, and Allegheny County, North Carolina. This area is high in elevation. We get a lot of moisture and able to grow an abundant amount of grass. Because of that, we can graze a cow-calf pair per 2 acres per year. We can produce enough feed off another acre to acre and a half to provide enough hay to feed these cattle through the winter. Some of the area that you've seen, the feed conversion and efficiency of the balancer female to be able to take forage and turn it into pounds of beef production is really the efficiency of those cattle. But at the same time, we don't have to have a lot of feed efficiency for these cattle to be productive. I mean, they're going to breed back and they're going to do their job. But with this grass and with the environment we live in, we can see a tremendous amount of growth and take advantage of that and not just put it in fat, actually put it in growth. if we get into dry season, these cattle still breed back. It doesn't take all that extra forage growth, but when we have it, these cattle can really utilize that forage growth and turn it into productive pounds to sell. At the same time, the crossbreeding system and heterosis and the Gelbvieh influence, these cattle have a tremendous longevity. They breed back year after year after year after year. So cow life is very important, and it's nothing for us to have a cow that's bred back at 16 years of age and still grow a big, healthy, productive calf that'll go on. And that allows us to be able to pull from those genetics for a longer period of time. If we have a set of cows that we really like the calves and the production of those daughters, we don't just get caught with 1 or 2 calves and that cow's out of the herd. We may get to keep 3 or 4 or 5 cows, heifers back to make cows out of that go back to that same set of genetics.
I think the versatility and the adaptability of the crossbred females we've seen with these balancer females across the country in many harsher environments, the cows continue to produce heavy calves and remain in the herd for a long time.
Coming up,
that feed efficiency of those cattle, when they have adequate feed or more than adequate feed, they really express that growth potential.
learn the importance of efficient females. Next on The American Rancher.
Reproductive success is critical in every profitable cow-calf operation. That's why you need effective, easy breeding with VitaFerm Concept Aid. High concentrations of organic trace minerals and vitamin E found in Concept Aid will ensure more of your cows breed back faster. Plus, you'll be giving your herd the AmAffirm advantage, leading to healthier, heavier, more uniform calves at weaning. VitaFerm Concept Aid. Effective, easy breeding.
From the high country of Eastern Oregon, Harold Hereford Ranch is your progressive genetic seed stock source. From cow herd to carcass, we test them all the way. Our breeding philosophy has been to produce cattle that work for all segments of the beef industry. We take pride in having built a genetics and performance-based program built to serve the registered and commercial cowmen. Harold McKenzie Quarter Horses will also be offering a select group of 2-year-old ranch and arena horse prospects. These horses are started right for the rancher and everyday cowboy. Join us March 1st for our annual Spring Bowl Roundup and Performance Horse Prospect Sale in Baker City, Oregon.
This is Hard Brand Cattle. Family owned, family run, prime focused, and home to the largest and best source for Akaushi genetics in the world. U.S. commercial cattlemen are buying our bulls because they work. If you raise Akaushi cattle, we have a buyback program. Our cattle grade 45% USDA prime, less than 2% select, averaging a 2.8 yield grade. It's time you earn premiums over commodity prices. Akaushi provides beef customers with the best beef eating experience. Visit us at hardbrandcattle.com.
The Superior Country page is the leading online marketplace for buying and selling load lots of calves, feeders, and breeding stock. The Country page is an efficient, easy-to-use, and low-cost solution for selling cattle. You set the price and move at your pace with flexible delivery options. The Country page matches the best buyers to the best sellers at the best price for both parties. Call or log on today to find out more about the Superior Country page.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. Maternal efficiency is an important trait in any cow-calf operation and is one the Gelbvieh female excels in. With a more moderate mature cow size, Gelbvieh females consume less while weaning heavier calves. Gelbvieh and Balancer maternal influence in a crossbreeding system offers more pounds of calf wean per cow exposed. These heavier weaning weights, combined with feed bunk efficiency, as well as heavier, faster gaining feeder cattle, can increase profitability.
When we started to develop our cow herd and trying to figure out how that we could be successful in a beef cow operation, most beef cow operations look at their steer calf as their premium product and their female as a commodity, being lesser priced or lesser value. I wanted to change that around and make my steer my commodity, my lesser priced, lesser valued animal, and my female to be my higher valued animal and be my premium product to sell. And by being able to go into the replacement commercial female business and breed these females to do that, we've been able to accomplish that. When we wean a heifer calf off our cow, I value her $200 more than my very best steers. And through very little development other than genetics, just standard feeding practices, very little supplement grain, we can develop these heifers out, get them bred and carry them through and make cows out of them without a lot of additional cost, but at the same time have a superior female that we can pull out and put in a sale and sell them, and then turn around and take the remainder of those females and put back in our operation for replacements or to add numbers to our operation.
Our customer base understands moderation in the cow herd, understands functional traits, understands that you can have a 1,200-pound cow with a 600-pound calf, and you don't have to have a 1,600-pound cow to make that calf. And our customers are the kind of customers that understand I'd rather have 35 cows in that particular pasture with one bull than 25 cows, because that's all that'll fit in there because of the size of the cows. We're not making huge cows, we're making the functional cows.
The growth in these cattle is phenomenal. The amount of inputs to get that growth is minimal. One of the things that the crossbreed between the Gelbvieh and Angus or Balancer program is that feed efficiency of those cattle, when they have adequate feed or more than adequate feed, they really express that growth potential. But in the situation where that we don't have adequate feed or we have short grazing conditions and we can't maintain a great body condition score, those cattle will breed right back. They'll give their heart to feed that calf, but then turn around and make and give us the next calf for next year.
Your job is to produce pounds of beef, so of course you have to have good calves that grow well, that after you wean them they take off and are ready to go to market when you need to sell them. So that Gelbvieh also gives us that. So we feel like the Gelbvieh Balancer breed is just really a perfect fit for what we want.
Prior to going to a GAP 4 natural program, we were marketing those calves direct to a feedlot, and we were getting carcass data back on those calves. We were running a 95% choice, 5% select. We were having no yield grade 4s at all and seeing some yield grade 2 calves on those steers. And those calves were being harvested at 18 to 19 months of age and live weight of 1,500 pounds. The females that we have sold in these sales, if we sell a customer 2 or 3 females to go back in their operation, when they need females again, they come back and buy those females. We have people that come to the production sale, which is a cooperative from our local cattlemen's association, and there's multiple consigners and multiple breeds. And the people that come in and buy the cattle from our operation come back consistently and buy the cattle from our operation again. They are very satisfied and very, very impressed with the performance that these cows can do. Whether they actually go back and put them back on a Balancer program, or they use a totally different sire back on these cows work. These cows work for them, they work for me, they work for them, and they go to all different environments. They'll go to pure fescue based hot weather environments. They'll go into rugged mountain environments. They'd work in multiple places. They'd work here in Southwest Virginia. The Gelbvieh cattle have been a true asset to this operation. The genetics that they've brought to the table, the ability to utilize those genetics and to be able to set up a little unique system, a niche in a market that the Gelbvieh and the Balancer operation has brought to this farming operation, and the opportunities that it's brought to us to meet people and to help the beef industry.
Gelbvieh and Balancer cattle offer maternal superiority and moderate mature weights, quiet dispositions, added fertility, and greater longevity, truly making them the mother breed of choice. For more information about Gelbvieh and Balancer cattle and the commercial programs offered by the American Gelbvieh Association, visit gelbvieh.org. That's all the time we have today. Thank you for joining us. For more information about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick. For our entire American Rancher team, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.